positions. Garnacho in the 9.
I think he's. Listen, I rate Garnacho.
What do you rate about Garnacho? Can I just ask you, what do you rate about Garnacho?
I think he gets into very good positions. I think he's like, he's not necessarily the quickest, but I think he has some sort of IQ when it comes to like positionally as a forward. If he just learns how to take his chances, because against Luton he could have had a hat trick. Like if he can just have some composure in front of goal, I think he could actually become a player. I genuinely think so. I actually think he's not that bad.
Yeah. What don't you like about him? Because you can't, every time his name is mentioned, Staffy, your face does like a
it's just like people rate him for stuff that he doesn't have. So it's like I'm confused sometimes when they say, do you actually watch him before you say these things? He's not quick, he's not physical, he doesn't have good ball striking. How can my striker not be a good ball striker? Do you not see the way
he should? Not quick, when you say he's not quick, what do you mean? I mean he's not a slouch.
So when I say he's not quick, he's not pacey. That's the thing. He might be a quick dribbler. So with the ball, his dribbling is not that bad. But he's actually a slow player. I've seen him so many times in the transition get caught by the defenders, and he'd have like 5 yards ahead of them. Everyone knows that about him. Like when you see him, he's not a counter-attacking player. The times he scores is, I'll give one thing that Hussam said that is true. He actually does get in positions because he's very direct and he's very self-centered that he wants to score a lot of goals. He does find himself in positions where, okay, now I could score a goal. But when you're not physical, you want to play him as a 9, and you're not physical, means you're going to get bullied by defenders. When you don't have pace, it means you can't run in behind defenders. And to top all of it, you don't kick the ball well. Like his ball striking is so poor, and we see this every game. That goal that Hoyland scored.
Composure is his biggest issue. If he gets composure, I think he'd score a lot of goals. 100%. He just needs to be composed.
Yeah, I think he can develop. I think
it's going to take a lot more than that, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think composure can be taught because composure is a mindset as opposed to a technical skill. I do think the Man United fan base has a weird obsession with technical ability. And what I mean by that is, of course, you want your players to be proficient, have good outputs, have good consistency, and be hugely technically proficient. But we have a lot of players that have good technical ability, but they're not good footballers. Growing up as a kid, there was a lot of people like this in my life growing up. I don't know what football games you guys played in Jordan and in New York, but we used to play a game called knockouts, where it was all v all, right? And the ball, there'd be a goalkeeper who kicked the ball out, it was all v all. Or you play double knockouts where there's two of you together, you play headers and volleys, you play games that you followed the rules, but there was no referee, right? And you always had these players that were the best in the playground. But when it came to actually playing for the school team, when it came to playing for the school team, or when it came to playing for a Sunday league team, they couldn't handle the structure of an actual football match. They were never, ever anywhere near as good in a football match, a proper one, as they were in the playground. And that, for me, is where I always look at somebody with, when anyone goes, someone's a baller, their technical ability is through the roof, it's a bit of a red flag to me. It doesn't mean everybody they say that about ends up being a bad player. But I'm like, okay, they've got good technical ability, which means they look nice on the eye test. But what do they do with it? And for instance, when Angel Gomez left, now Angel Gomez is a good professional, and I would love to have his career in football. When Zidane Iqbal left, everyone's like, these guys are going to go on. Chong, these guys are all going to go on to be world beaters. None of them, I almost guarantee that 95% of all these technical ballers that we don't start, don't play, loan out and sell, will never get anywhere near a top 6 Premier League level team in their life. But we upset, and again, I understand that we need to go out and buy better technical ballers than, say, Scott McTominay. But just because someone's got technical ability doesn't mean they're a good football player at the highest level. And I think that there's always this, I feel like there's this missing gap that we sometimes have as fans. We go, why is this guy always being picked? Well, he's been picked by 4 or 5 managers running, and all the technical ballers you want are now playing in League One. Like I'm not saying that makes McTominay amazing, but it tells me your football understanding. I'm not talking to you here, Staffy, by the way. Your football understanding's off, because you actually look at Baller FC and look at, yes, they all rate Messi, but everybody does. Go back over the last 5 years and look at all the up-and-coming stars they've predicted. Look at all the players currently bought. Oh, this guy's going to be it. And look where those footballers are at now. Most of them are doing very little at the elite end of the spectrum. I think people are too obsessed with technical ability versus efficiency and output and delivery in your respective position. There's a difference between technically good at football and being a good football player, in my opinion. And I think
But
Garnacho's
I
got the
think Staff is
ability.
being a
I
bit
think
harsh on
Garnacho's got the ability to be a very good football player, as opposed to he's never going to be Zidane. But Zidane's are a rare. I look at them as celebrities, right? There are certain people in this world that have high level of celebrity and amazing talent. So, for instance, Michael Jackson, right? Celebrity and huge talent at the same time. Most people have huge talent, but they're not big celebrities, or they're huge celebrities, but their talent's pretty average. And I feel like every now and then you get a footballer that has huge technical ability, but is also an amazing footballer at the same time. Most of the time, they're just good footballers. In my view,
They have
feel
great technical ability and they're efficient. That puts them like in GOAT categories anyway. That's like rare to find to begin with. I think Staff is being a bit harsh on Garnacho personally.
No, I'm not, bro. I watch him every week, bro. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
hear me out. You know I watch United every week as well because I am a hater. So I think Garnacho is definitely a good player, but I genuinely believe. Look, he just needs someone to just teach him how to be composed, because you cannot tell me a striker that got into the positions that he got in against Luton multiple times is someone who's just
Bro, we
like an
played
idiot.
counter-attacking football
doesn't
against
know how to
Luton.
play.
Why are you bigging up
Doesn't
that
matter.
performance so
You cannot
much?
tell me he doesn't know how to play the
He
sport.
couldn't
He can
round the
play.
goalkeeper. What are you talking about, bro? You're
Can
actually not
I
watching the
explain
game.
it? His problem is composure. So you get into the position. The tough part, many people find tough, is actually getting into the position. So he gets into the position, which is, by the way, Mo Salah does that at the elite level. Mo Salah's positioning is elite. I'm talking about 5-star, like his positioning. The problem is with Garnacho is I don't think he's composed enough, because a
Mohamed
player
Salah is an elite finisher, bro. What does that even have to do with this guy?
Let me land. A player in Garnacho's position against Luton scores a hat-trick. Me and you can both agree on this, whether you rate him or not. He should have had a hat-trick against Luton. Now, the thing is,
Can you tell me where should he have had a hat trick? Other than that one chance that he didn't run the goalkeeper.
He got
where
around
should
the
he have had?
goalkeeper once. There was the chance he missed in the
Actually, he
box.
messed up. Other than that, where did he mess
There was
up?
the chance. No, but that's the criticism. What am I criticizing for? Composure. I think
Actually,
he
that's
lacks
one
composure.
chance. Where do you see the hat
No,
trick?
no,
I
but
just
I think
don't
he lacks.
understand what you're talking
I
about.
think if you get someone who just teaches, because composure can be taught. If you teach
Okay.
Garnacho composure, he will start scoring goals, because there's something there. I disagree with you. I don't think he doesn't have. I think he has good ball striking. I don't think he has bad ball striking. I think he strikes the ball well. I agree with you. I don't think he's the quickest. I think he's fast, but not the quickest, like Gakpo, to be fair.
Yeah.
All his shots are off target. The goal that Hoyland scored is because his shot was off target. I'm telling you, I watch him game in, game out. He doesn't have good ball
How are
strike.
all these shots off target if he scores goals?
Terry, you know what I mean? I don't mean literally every shot there. Don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
but
reason we actually moved him from left to right, because every time he cut in, he couldn't. His ball striking when he cuts in on his right wasn't good enough.
That there's rawness to him, and he needs work, right? I understand that, but this is what I would throw out. You're someone, Staffy, who on so many shows, and rightfully so, you're bang on, spoke about the lack of style of football, the lack of drills we do in training, the lack of development. Someone like Garnacho, under the correct structure at our club, with the right coach, and it all knitting together nicely, is going to improve. And as I say, there's a few people that have commented saying, Terry, how can you not rate technical ability? You didn't listen. You're not listening. I want good technical ability, but I think we obsess over it sometimes, because player A looks better at passing than player B. But in reality, in a football match, they're less efficient. They actually make less passes. They actually lose the ball just as much. They barely create opportunities. They don't break the lines. Just because their technical ability looks good doesn't make them a good football player. This isn't ballet where it's all about your lines and how good it looks. It's about efficiency and delivery. And I think that we get a little bit bogged down with it. Yes, I'd love Garnacho to have more speed, have a better first touch. I'd love for him to have dribbling ability of Ronaldinho. I'd love for him to have the passing range and the creative flair of a Zidane, but that's not going to happen. However, there are some players out there that could do better step overs than him, have better drag backs than him, be able to do better, tricks and whatever, but they're not going to be better football players than him. Like, being good at tricks and flicks doesn't make you a good football player. It never has done, and it never will do. It's knitting it all together, in my opinion. There's the comment that's come through here that says Conor Gallagher is a prime example. True. Conor Gallagher, there are lots of players, young players currently in the Premier League that have better technical ability than Conor Gallagher. But he will have a better career at the elite level than many of those individuals, because it's a different skill set that's needed. At the end, it doesn't mean, and again, some people just purely go on footballing ability and go, he's better. There are probably people that saw Jamie O'Hara have a football career and go, how did he make it and not me? because it isn't all about how good you are with the skills and the technique. There's more to football than that. It's like in boxing. There are some guys that have won world titles that are not very good boxers, but they're amazing fighters. There's a combination that's needed within the sport. So Jim and co want to bring technical technique. I think you mean back to United. They want De Zerbi backed with United money. Scary prospects. Listen, I want it as well, but we still then will only develop the people that have technical ability coupled with good footballing outputs, depending on the position they play in. It's as simple as that for me. Terry, generally, I love your content, mate, but need to know that since you're Ten Hag an outer, who comes in next for you? I'm someone that likes Diego Simeone. That was me a few weeks ago. However, we need to know what the club's style is going to be and understand that now. So I don't know what we're going to do. I like the idea of Alonso as an example. I'm not even dead set against the dead set against
Alonso. That's not going to happen, brother.
I'm just telling you the preference.
It's not going to happen. He's never
going to.
The
question is about what he wants.
I didn't say that.
What's going to happen?
I didn't say it was going to happen. I also I'm not dead set against the idea of De Zerbi either. I think it's a big risk because he hasn't been at a club of that level. So yeah, but I don't also think it will be. I don't actually think it will be Diego Simeone now. One, I don't think we'll get him away from Ati. Secondly, I've got a feeling that isn't the style of football that the club is going to try and play. I think the style of football that we're going to play is going to suit more your De Zerbi-esque managers. The problem you have when it comes to bringing somebody in, I don't think there's any managers of that ilk who are of a world-class level that have won major trophies that play that brand of football right now. That are attainable for Man United. So they're the names we're looking at. But you've got to remember my reasons for not wanting Ten Hag, and I've had a lot of comments on this. It's not really about him per se. It's all to do with a clean slate and starting from afresh. And I think Sir Jim,